I love Nirvana. And I'm all out of Snapple, so that's bullshit. Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about the Reapers and Black Butler. Probably one of my most favorite things about that show. I love the Reapers. I just love them. Because they're not angels, they're not demons, they're that chaotic neutral, that absolute evil that you kinda need. Basically, for those of you who don't know, in Black Butler, the Reapers is they're like the society of suited up individuals whose jobs it is to collect the souls of the dead. Or more or less collect the souls of the living after they've died. It's a weird process because it's kind of like they get a death list or whatever, and it's like a whole, literally their realm is like a whole business thing. There's buildings and buildings, and there's training to do field work and shit like that. And the job of the Reapers is there's like a death list of who's gonna die, so they get sent in like pairs of two. Usually, they get sent through this thing called the Gate and go into the human world, and they have like their pickaxes or whatever, not their pickaxes, their scythes, or their shtickles, or their sickles, or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called a sickle. Mini scythes. They go to where the humans have died. They have to track them or keep track of them or whatever. Determine whether they're gonna live or die, and if they're gonna die, they go to them, take their sickle, shove it into them, and when they shove the sickle into a dying person, their cinematic record comes out. And think of the cinematic record as your entire life, everything you've witnessed and seen in a film roll. And what happens is that scythe collects the film roll into imagine your whole life, everything you've seen, experienced, and know is in a roll of film. Imagine that. And they store that in the afterlife. Not sure what happens to the souls, but that's what happens to the cinematic records, whatever. And that's the Reaper's job. They also have different jobs. There's desk jobs and everything. And one thing that I seem to notice is, in the anime especially, the backstory behind the Reapers and everything, and why they're there, or their purpose, or how they became Reapers, it's never dwelled upon. It's never talked about. It's always just kind of, oh yeah, they're here and you should just accept it. Once again, it's a thing that's more talked about in the manga. And that's one of the things that I wanted to discuss today, is a bit of their backstory. I had not known this until I believe reading the wiki about a year or so back. But turns out the Reapers are people who have committed suicide. So it's kind of going by Beetlejuice rules, where if you kill yourself, you become a servant in the afterlife. Which is, I guess that's kind of cool, because you never get really a glimpse of hell and heaven. The only thing that you get full visual access to is the Reapers, what they're all about. You never see heaven in the show. Hell, you never even see Sebastian in his demon form. It's just high heels, and we're supposed to believe that the rest of him is just so horrifying to look at that they keep a lot of things in the show with heaven and hell very just in the dark. Whereas we have an OVA called something about the story of William T. Spears, Will the Reaper. And it talks about William T. Spears, one of the characters. He's a Reaper. It talks about him. And it goes into backstory about the first time him and Grell Sutcliffe ever met. And it talks about the grading, exams, the eye exams, how they became Reapers, how they became field workers. It actually takes you throughout the building, and you get to see the different positions, the guy who makes glasses. And another one of the things that I found very interesting about the Reapers was they have neon eyes. Every single Reaper has neon eyes. Doesn't matter what eyes you had before you killed yourself. The neon eyes, I think, I don't know if it's supposed to be ironic if it's a thing that their god, like, set up. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna have beautiful eyes, but they're gonna be terribly... I forget if it's nearsighted or farsighted. I'm pretty sure it's nearsighted because they need glasses. Without the glasses, they're like, I can't see shit. They're fucking blind. So, I would assume that this is just supposed to be like an insult, like, oh, you have beautiful eyes, but they're fucked up. I would assume that's just to be, like, I don't know, ironic, just to add more shit onto their plate. Like, not only do you have to serve in the afterlife until you either quit or serve your sentence, but you will also, you know, you will also have screwed up eyes. So, that's that. But after a while, and after watching the show with the idea of, oh my god, they had to kill themselves to get to this point, after watching it with that perspective, I kind of I tried to name the ways in which they killed themselves. I tried to guess. And all I could really assume was, I'm gonna guess Pops, that's the guy who makes the glasses. Apparently, it looks like he's been there a while because he's old. I don't know if the Reapers still age after they die. I would assume because some are young and some are old. Predominantly, a lot of them are young. I don't believe the Reaper realm exists anywhere in heaven or hell. That seems to be like the limbo. Because when you see it, you don't see their world. You just kind of see a bunch of office buildings. And, like, that's supposed to be the Reaper realm. It's just, like, 6 office buildings floating on some plane of existence, and that's where they are. And they go to and from Earth via this thing called the Gate. Right out of the gate, or gonna go through the gate. Not really dwelled upon about what the gate actually is. At least I haven't seen anything on it. But yeah, Pops, he's the guy who makes the glasses for all the Reapers. He's like, oh yeah, when you become a full Reaper, then he makes you your glasses. And he makes everyone's glasses in accordance to their appearance or their personality. So, of course, Grell's is more effeminate, pointy, red with the bead things. Whereas William T. Spears's glasses are stern, flat, you know, black. Nothing really big to them because he's very stone cold. He's actually one character who's actually stone cold and straightforward that I actually like. I don't know what it is about him, but I actually like him. He doesn't really have a personality, and absolutely a lack of personality is the worst excuse for a personality. But I don't know what it is about William T. Spears. I actually like him. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, the Undertaker's a Reaper. He's apparently, I don't know, they talk about like him being one of the greats. He actually apparently quit being a Reaper because he just didn't want to do it anymore. He was sick of it. I had actually had this theory that he originally, maybe the Undertaker was the Grim Reaper that wore, like, maybe he had the scythe, maybe he had the hood, and maybe he was the inspiration for Victorian England's original symbol for death. The hooded skeleton, or the hooded white man with a giant scythe. Maybe he was the inspiration for that? Maybe, maybe not. And the only other thing I found super interesting about the Reapers is they get to customize their weaponry. And it's funny because most of the time their weaponry is gardening equipment that hasn't even been invented yet. Which leads me to believe that maybe the Reaper realm doesn't exist in any one time period. Maybe everything's just predetermined from the start. That's trippy as shit. That is really trippy. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta go and think about this some more. I think that's gonna do it for this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios.